Yeah, welcome back to the Firehouse for some more Firehouse reasoning. Tonight from Firehouse, I'll be teaching the teachings of Rastafari, you know, and one who followed the way of that one. No, I'm a follower of that one, you know, and you know that idea of Rastafari, it's I reckon it's like reggae music. It's an energy that was produced by those who are called the Jamaicans. They are the one who bring forward this rhythm. And they are the one who also bring forward the conception of Rastafari. What I would like you to understand, all those who are listening, whether you're Rasta or you're not, look at it this way. You know, it wasn't the first man who invented television that brought television to the state of perfection that it is today. If you know what I mean. So don't think that it was the first man who first conceived of the idea of Rastafari, who is bringing Rastafari to the fullness then, if you know what I mean. But anyway, coming back to this Rastafari business, I don't know what it is about these Jamaicans, but you know what I mean? It's what you would call a melting pot. So it breeds all kind of rebel, I say. You know? All kind of different form of rebel. And I is one of them as well, I say. I am a rebel soul. If you know what I mean. So when it comes to this Rasta business, I is a rebel soul to the fullest. And you find out that in Rasta now, when you are a rebel soul, like I say, Jamaicans are very rebellious for one reason or the other. I don't know. We all have our own rebellion. Yeah, one man and his rebellion, you know what I mean? So I is on a one-man rebellion, as it was called. I am on a rebel soul. Understand? Now, rebel souls do not, like I say, accept. Because I is under captivity, if you know what I mean. Find myself under captivity due to a long historical process when I come to understand the procedure of how I come to be a Jamaican then. You know, glimpsing back in the past, I get to understand that it was due to a procedure of capture then. You know, going back into the distance there. Get captured and indoctrinated, you know, all kind of thing went on, you know. Skimming over it now, we have no language, you know, but we, further back down they did. So the language was removed and we was now have to learn the language of those who capture us then. They're not capture I personally, the ancestors, you know, roots down there. And then eventually we now settled in, they brought them to Jamaica. But it looked as if they must have captured some of the real rebels. Yeah? That's what I say, because I don't know any. I just reckon, yeah man, they captured some of the fiercest jungle man from down deep Congo, yeah? Brought them to Jamaica. Which wasn't a good idea. You know what I mean? Well, anyway, it is these rebel soul, like I'm telling you now, who, have you heard that music called reggae music all around the globe, eh? It's produced by these rebel soul. And no doubt you've heard the word Rastafari, yeah man. Live it and reign it. No doubt you hear that sound as well. And it was the same rebel souls that create this vibration that you hear people going on about now, Rastafari, and you know, you see now the nice colors, just like you see sitting on top of my head. The colors up there, yeah? Those colors are significant to a Rasta man like myself, you know. Being a jungle man, rough like I'm telling you, a rebel soul. The blackness of the crown, as you can see up there, represent the first principle in creation. Before there was any light, right? Everywhere was complete darkness. Yeah? And from out of the darkness spring the light, represented by the yellow up there. And then you have the red for the blood that run through the veins of the human beings, I say. And then I don't know if the green is not represented, but it's there. The green is one of the color again, representing the greenness of the earth. Yeah. And that is what it means to a Rasta man. Now, what is a Rasta man? Why should you say a Rasta man? Because a Rasta man is a man like any other man. So why should one now claim that he is a Rasta when he is a man like any other man? Well, when you say you're a Rasta, you're still a man, but it is supposed then to signify that you are setting off on the journey to understanding who Rastafari is, if you know what I mean. That's what a Rasta man is. A Rasta man is a man who knows or understands who Rastafari is, if you know what I mean. Now, like I'm telling you, because those ancestors was brought here under false pretense then, and was taught under false pretense, it called for us then to resurrect our own way of seeing who the one is, if you know what I mean. Because obviously we was introduced to Jesus and his disciples, and I know the majority of the slaves accepted this kind of idiotic story that the slave master tell them. You know what I mean? They accepted that, but down there, because you have a lot of rebel soul, they never accepted that. We have voodoo men, you know what I mean? Obia man. No, in Jamaica we don't work voodoo, we work obia. They call it obia. Yeah, so we kind of stick to the obia, like, you know what I mean? I'm a obia man, you know what I mean? That's why I've got my teeth around my neck instead of in my mouth. If you know what I mean. Working a bit of teeth magic, I say. I like to crunch people with some big teeth. Yeah, as a obia man down there. So, having brought these rebels down there, like I say, which is a very dangerous thing, then these rebels now come up with the vibration of Rastafari. You know what I mean? It's as if when they was in the pits down there then, of deprivation and spiritual cut off from all, nothing could save them until they invoked the spirit of Rastafari. And that is when men started to become Rasta. If you know what I mean. So, who and what is this Rasta? And how can one be a Rasta or claim to be a Rasta? Well, it's, like I said, the old black magic thing. If you know what I mean. It is a science. Yeah, man, Bushmen only deal with science. Like I tell you, kill all yours here in Europe. You tell them that there was witches and burn them in it. Well, I was hiding in deep Congo. So, you know what I mean? Get transport to Jamaica, and they sow the seeds down there of us witch doctors then, as it was. So the Rasta man, I you know, I never say Rasta man, I says I tell Rasta man himself is a witch doctor, if you know what I mean. So you find out that witch doctors don't tolerate the teachings of other human beings. You know what? The last thing you can tell a witch doctor is anything about your Jesus and dying and all them kind of thing. You know what I mean? Because witch doctors are for the people. They reckon those are the people who put man in slavery. So why would he tolerate then anyone putting him into slavery and then receiving their teachings, or even using their book to acquire his knowledge? You know what I mean? Which even some of the Rasta men, he's tempted them with his book, you know. And they've got into it now and says, oh yes man, the lineage of Solomon and David and all. Brethren, Solomon and David and them never existed. You know? These men are telling you, it's like Harry Potter story. There's no lineage and no family. When I explain who Rastafari is to you, you will understand there's this lineage business about who come from what lineage and what lineage, man. Those are the utterance of those who are deceiving you with what I call idiocy. They never bring it to you with love, brethren. And don't just think about your own personal self now. Please remember the ancestors. This is an ancestral thing. Do you not remember the brutality that your ancestors went through at the hand of those who brought them over here into slavery and willfully and purposely removed their language and culture from them and eventually give them the Bible? That's why we call it the Bible. And now you are seeking your salvation through this Bible given to you by the forces that oppress and brutalize you, are the ancestors. If you don't want to say, you can, you know, a lot of you say, oh well, they never brutalized me, which they never ever. Think of your lineage, where you're coming from. You have no feeling for your ancestors and what they went through. If it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be here, innit? So how can you abandon ship now? Like I'm saying, well, all those who are thinking like that, you know, I say, you can't be a Rasta, can you? If you know what I mean. Well, like I say, you know, even though we are Jamaicans then, like I'm telling you, I say I'm a Jamaican. To be an actual bush doctor, you have to find your way back to deep Congo. You know what I mean? Yes, man, you have to find your way back to deep Congo. At least mentally, anyway. You know what I mean? Mentally. Because that's where the original rebels come from to enter Jamaica. You know what I mean? They wasn't born in Jamaica, you know, the rebel spirits. No, they arrived there. And when they arrived there, before they died, they kind of work some black magic and leave the spell down there. You see what I mean? There was voodoo men, obia men, all kind of men, you know what I mean? Doing all kind of magic about the place, they say. And they leave that spirit there that eventually, whenever the rebel general come about now, he would discover this fact and then be able to discover and explain who Rastafari is, the terrible and dreadful one himself, the high general. You know what I mean? So yes, that's why I reckon the spirit of Rastafari had to be arisen in this time because of the injustice and the separation and the cry of those who are under the whip. You know what I mean? To see what is right and correct after we've been blinded for so long. You know what I mean by idiocy to the fullest. Surely now the Rastaman had to I say rebel soul. I'm a rebel soul. Yeah. Had to arrive on the scene to clarify up the matter of what brought not only us but the world in confusion. You know what I mean? Because rebel souls, like I say, you know, deal with things in a galactical form, universal form, never in any little box cage or whatever. You rebel soul is outside of the box. Rebel soul free all souls. Whether you're from the jungle or not, what does it matter? No man should be a slave. You know what I mean? So a rebel soul reveal the truth. Not only to jungle man. Rasta don't just reveal the truth to Rasta, you know. No man, the truth is for all, man. Why keep it? Give that away. If you understand what I mean. So this is how you become a rebel soul now, you know. You see, a rebel soul have to stick entirely to roots. Because to be a rebel soul, the mind have to be prepared. You know what I mean? Because this is a terrible and dreadful fight that we have to deal with to be a to be a rebel soul. You know what I mean? So it have to be purged of all foreign elements, if you know what I mean. Strictly ancestral. You know what I mean? That means strictly African. If you're from Europe, you have a strictly European mind. You know what I mean? But I bet if you get a strictly European mind, no, you won't be a Christian, really, because that Christianity only come before you about your ancestors about 2,000 years ago, I say, where the murder of most of your ancestors to enforce Christianity on you. So you deal with that side, I'm dealing with this side. So on this side now, I do not tolerate, if you know what I mean, any teachings that is not ancestral, and that one isn't. Islam isn't. We don't tolerate those things within the borders of our mind, if you know what I mean. There ain't no way you can be a Rasta and then you following somebody else's idea of God, then what they tell you, and using their name for God, and you know what I mean, praying their way and all that and all that. Rasta do not do that. A Rasta man would never do that. A Rasta man has his own name for God. Rastafari, the terrible and dreadful overlord. You know what I mean? And while their God might be personal to themselves or their particular groups, the Rastaman God is not personal to himself. You see what I mean? The Rastaman God is impersonal and is therefore present within all beings. Who cares what they want to call themselves? I and I is a rebel soul. So we say, Rastaman a rebel soul, man. We Bushmen are, I say, Congo man are rebels. Bushmen, you know what I mean? Work a kind of magic. Is it magic? Well, of course it's magic, you know what I mean? I just call it bushcraft. Yeah. You don't have to be sophisticated. You just have to learn a bit of what I call bushcraft. Learning how to discipline oneself, you know what I mean, and keeping away from negative activities. You see what I mean? Physically and mentally. Nurturing the mind, as we would call it, along the good path, with a good intention and a love for all, and a desire to care and share for the whole. Yes, so that kind of that kind of behavior start to bring one in tune, you know, getting you ready. That is just the preparation, you know. You know what I mean? Like when you prepare a field for the seeds, you know what I mean, to be sown. And then when you prepare yourself now, having, you know, starting your self-discipline, you know, the seeds can be planted, and then when it grows, yes, you will be when it grows, you will be in a position to understand who Rastafari is. Because until such matters are done then, until the preparation is done of one mind, getting prepared, Rastafari will only be a figment of your imagination. Rastafari can only be conceived by, like I say, rebel soul. And while I tell you that these Jamaican produce a lot of these very eccentric man them. Right now on the planet, they are the fastest moving human being. Mr. Usain Bolt. The man is so fast they call him Lightning Bolt. Yeah, and he's fast in the physical body. You have some Jamaican who are very rapid in the mind, you know. So rapid they run right out of it. Yeah, well, the rebel soldier is one like that, man. Yeah, just like how you see the brother, right? He's the fastest in the physical. It's just so the rebel general is the fastest in the mind. Him so fast, him run out of it. Yeah, fancy that now. But you cannot see the swiftness because it's in the invisible. You see what I mean? A form of black magic. Yeah, man, black magic, man. Yeah, but that's exactly. Because don't forget, I don't tell no lie, you know. So that means if I tell you I'm the swiftest, I am. Swiftest without moving, eh? And I am so slow. That's another paradox of Rastafari, I say, you know. That you can appear to be so slow, yet you're so rapid. But that's exactly how it works, man. Rapid through the mind when we move, you know. We say we're so rapid. We jump all through the mind and gone all over in the land of Rastafari, terrible and dreadful overlord himself. The High General that oversee life within, if you know what I mean. So for those of you who are listening and you're not Jamaican then, and I want to identify Rastafari for you, what we Jamaicans call Rastafari. I shouldn't say we, I should say I as a Jamaican know Rastafari. Because some people think Rastafari is Selassie. I say, yeah man, the name belongs to it. No name don't belongs to no man. You can't copyright that, you know. Name like I tell you, when you understand witchcraft, as I call it, given from the spirit within, you know what I mean? Names, that's where ideas come from. Thoughts come from within. So the name Rastafari is not no one personal name. It's the name that identifies the one. The one that all you, I say, deluded beings are calling God. You know what I mean? This one dwell within all. Understand? That's why when you do a little dirty deeds that you do it, and you feel what you call guilty, that's the one prompting you. That's the one you call conscience. Because I is a rebel soul. Bad rebel, you know, rebel soul, yeah? I can identify that one as the terrible and dreadful one. You know what I mean? The one that is everywhere at once, present, you know what I mean? See it all and know it all from within. Ain't no way of getting around that one. I say, you're running and you're running and you're running away, but you can't run away from yourself. Is that, well, yourself now, what you call yourself, is actually the terrible and dreadful one, Rastafari. So the Rastaman now is a follower of that one, if you know what I mean. Rather than say, I and I is a follower of a certain group of men. I do not follow man, do I? My teachings is not from man. If you know what I mean, coming back to that. I say that a lot when I watch back my own self, if you know what I mean. Yeah, but I and I as a Rasta man then, innit? I am not taught by men, if you know what I mean. I am taught by the one that is within all. Now, obviously, because not many beings choose to be rebel souls, I say because a lot of beings are cowards. Not that God may create them cowardly, but they prefer to act cowardly. So they don't want to explore or to gain any understanding of what is happening in life. So they don't get to discover then who Rastafari is. You see what I mean? And failure to do this now is your own. You can only be on two roads, positive or negative. And if you don't know this, you are living negatively. You see what I mean? You can't gain any understanding by living negatively. You know what I mean? Negativity is only good to you when you turn it back into positivity. When you learn from your experience. Oh yeah, everyone have to go through the experience of a negative life or having done something negative in their life. Nothing wrong with that. No one is condemning anyone because whatever they did, that was wrong. But what we're saying is now, to understand who Rastafari is, one must change one ways. You see what I mean? Now a rebel soul is serious about those things. Deadly, deadly serious, you know what I mean? Take the law serious. You know what I mean? So we are, our intention is to live good and to follow the ways of the one. This one being Rastafari, the internal one that dwell within. Now, like I'm telling you, you know, this one is the supreme Dandada. Ain't no one above this one. So I don't know how now some little beings can be coming about with their little Bible and Quran and all kind of other books. That I'm forever telling you now that these books are knowledge. They are not wisdom. Rastafari himself, the teacher, is a living energy within your own being, talking to you every day, prompting you to do the right things, yet you ignore that and you hold on to the writings of man. Man, who I'm telling you, can never ever teach you wisdom. But the teacher within your own self, you do not want to know. Why you don't want to know? I think maybe because you don't want to live under the laws of conscience. Because if you was to follow your conscience, a lot of the dirty things that you're doing, you couldn't do it. Because your conscience simply wouldn't agree with it. So you don't want to live under the discipline of God. So you cannot discover God. If you know what I mean, then call it God in your term. In this teaching, we are referring to the one as Rastafari, the High General. See that oversee things. And telling you that the only reason why you cannot understand this one is because you refuse, innit? Which idiotic being is going to say that conscience is not in them? And that when they do the wrong that they're doing, they do not realize or know that it's wrong. Of course they know that it's wrong. You are doing the wrongs that you're doing for whatever selfish reason you are doing it. Not because you haven't got a conscience. Or like I tell you, the conscience is just like the sunshine. It's always shining. Clouds can go over the sun. So maybe your dirty deeds have created a cloud within, clouding out your conscience, like, you know, create a cloud between you and your conscience. But you can always clear that up by reverting to a moral way of living instead of the unhealthy way that you're living. Ain't no way of knowing who Rastafari is that way, is it? And obviously I find that a lot of beings on the planet, like I say, are racist within themselves. You know? Nation like. Feel so puffed up and proud, especially if they got straight here and those kind of people there. But you cannot know the truth when those sentiments are running in your psyche. That's part of the thing that blinds you, you know what I mean? So you find that the majority of them could never discover Rastafari on the grounds that these kind of sentiment was running in their beings. You know, like they don't like the black man or they don't think the black man is equal. From any tasks like that are growing in your garden, that's weeds. You know? Your flowers will get strangulated by them kind of weeds in your garden. You see what I mean? Until you are ready to give I and I. Because you don't know here, you don't hear what I say. I and I is a rebel soul. So until you little beings out there, whoever you are, who thinking you're beautiful, whatever, you know what I mean, until you are ready to give me, I don't know who else is demanding their rights. People have a way of not demanding their rights, but I do. So I'm saying, until any little idiotic being on this planet, give me my full rights. You see what I mean? Not even that the fullest of it, you will stay in ignorance. You die in it as well. And then you go and pay for the ignorance that you die in. You know what I mean? Because I'm not denying anyone their full rights. I think every being have a right to be here and to develop their full potential and to have an equal share in all that is on earth, whether that be ruby, diamond, gold, silver, food, water, and everything, all them things, full pleasure. They should have that as well. But I have feel the vibe that some people, just on the basis of I and I color, that I am not entitled to be seen as a full member of the human family. But I don't care what you think, because those kind of thoughts, like I tell you, are the ones that keep being in ignorance. Stop them from seeing what is right and correct. You know what I mean? So all of you who has adopted the Bible as your guide and is there singing the praise of Jesus, you are deluded human beings. You will never find your way this way. The oppressors have led you astray, is using your energy, you know what I mean, and suck you off down into their idiocy. The only, like I would say, African who can see and understand themselves are those Africans who are following their traditional religion. Call it what you want, voodoo, whatever is traditional to African. How Africans see their creator. But from you are following these oppressors and is preaching the teachings of the oppressor, because that's what I call it. Those who are preaching Christianity down into people's ears. You are preaching the teachings of the oppressors. Not only the oppressors of our ancestors, but the oppressors of all Europe, because these people in Europe wasn't Christians. And if you come in Europe and read the history of what they did, what these Christians did at the Roman Catholic Church to enforce their will on the people of Europe, you would be shocked, I'm telling you. Those ancestors here in Europe suffer some of the most brutal, savage behavior that human can do to another human, because of the fact that they are practicing their traditional religion. Don't know what it was, Celtic or whatever. They just call it pagan and witchism, and went on a bloodlust against these individuals or groups of them and murder them out viciously, I say, to bring in Christianity and Catholicism all over Europe and where it go. So the disease was not only spread on the jungle, man. It was spread, it spread as much as it can over humanity to get as much slave as it can. And it is still that same system that is running today. And you still have slave men who come from the root of slavery telling you that you should be Christian. That means they are telling you that you should remain a slave, that you should not try and free your mind, because the slave master has given them this book to come and whip you with. Tell you about the blood of Jesus. It make it sound as if Jesus was the only man with blood in his body, innit? If the man was real, he would have suffered the worst death, innit? Look how many humans die in so many horrible ways. Burn at the stake drive through them, burn. But the death of Jesus is so painful in it, and so the whole of mankind feel this death, when it's only a story. A story to delude human beings. You know about Jesus is the Son of God, man. It's madness, Rasta. As Rebel Soul, we just laugh at idiocy like that. Because Rebel Soul don't, like I say, we're not interested in any of God's prophets. Because we find that funny how God is only sending prophet to these people. And then now in these modern times, when people are going under great suffering, like in the days of slavery under the slave masters whip, when we get in transport across the sea, it would have been an appropriate time for God to send a prophet then, innit? But Lord, no prophet never come. We are only hearing about the prophet that God sent to them, to come and tell us about them. And then if we should ever say to them, oh, we want to go and visit one of the graves of these prophets, and see, they can't find it, because the prophets that they are telling you about is a figment of their own imagination. These people never exist. I don't know why God would want us to keep sending prophets. What for? People we already live on earth, innit? He's sending somebody, do. And then if you send him, why did he have to born and come out of a woman to deliver him? Why don't you just send him from outer space? Let him arrive like a spaceman, ain't God? And deliver your message. No, these men are born out of a woman telling you that God sent them. Nah, man. God never sent you. You must get mixed up in your own confusion. God never sent you to do nothing on his behalf. Why would God need a man to do something on his behalf anyway? It's God, he can do it himself. All powerful, all knowing, all seeing. They don't have to send any messenger. It's as if God was sending a messenger, that means God is not in his creation then. He must be, as God gone on holiday, you reckon. Some of these idiots, you know, they must think that, I know how some of these idiots got it, right? They've got it that God is the creator. You know, like how men are creators and make cars and aeroplanes and chairs. But they are not part of their creation. They just create it. So they are giving God the same attributes. As if to say, yes, man, God is a creator, yeah? But he create the earth here and he's gone up. You know what I mean? But God is not a creator like man. You understand? So God never create his creation and depart from his creation. You know? God is in his creation. You know what I mean? So if any one of you, like I'm saying, is thinking that, oh yes man, God is a maker, you know, a creator, and then just like how we men, like we say, we make tables, chairs, and we make house, but we are not part of these things that we are making. You see, we make them and we leave and gone somewhere else. So you must think that is what God has done in it. God create the earth and whatever, and he shift. Maybe he's gone working further up ahead in the universe, yeah? So if he had a message to send, he's got to use the Archangel Gabriel or send some prophets. That's what these lunatics have spinning in your head. But God is not God is within his creation, you know what I mean? So if God is within his creation and God is right here, he doesn't have to send anybody. When I say he, don't think of God as a man still, you know? Energy. But if this energy that we call God then, because I know the one himself, yeah, is present here within his creation, and he's right here within our midst here on earth, why would he need to send any message or send anybody to tell you anything when he can tell you himself? Tell one of us will receive the message if he have anything urgent that we need to know. Like these men are claiming, or any warning, you know. He don't have to send his son so that we can, and you know God is all wise. So before he sent his son, he would have seen, oh, they're going to brutally kill him. And still they won't be any wiser. So why make such an idiotic move? You know what I mean? But obviously God never made no idiotic move like that. But you have to know the ways of the Rasta man first, like I say, to understand these things. You know what I mean? And when I say the way of the Rasta man, I don't mean every man that tell you that they are Rasta man. Very few men are Rasta man. Take high discipline, you know what I mean? Seriousness and determination and willpower and love and honesty and a lot of things you have to combine into one to get yourself ready to be a Rasta man. You know what I mean? This is a C. But anyway, if you are serious, then you know what I mean. Then you are on your way to, like I say, encounter the leader of the pack. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, a Rasta man don't follow his own will, you know. Just one just making judgment because he think this is... No. He's actually following the one that knows what is right. Because rightness comes from somewhere, you know. Mr. Right then, if you want to call the one that... Mr. Right, he's following Mr. Right within himself. But Mr. Right is not confined just to one man, this Rasta man, is it? Mr. Right is everywhere in every man and woman. So it's not the privilege of a Rasta man to say, oh yeah, like say he's got some, got Rastafari or some private, and it's only him can know about Rastafari. No man, Rastafari is open to all. But through self-discipline though. If you know what I mean. Just because Rasta is there, Rastafari is there for all, it doesn't mean that all is going to know about Rastafari. Because you can't know unless you apply the action. Just like if you don't, like we say, use it all the time, but if you don't train, you cannot get fit. It's a simple process. You know what I mean? So these principles have to apply in your life. If you are going to know who the terrible and dreadful one is, Rastafari. And when you know this one now, this is how you easily unmask, I say, religious hypocrisy. And can bet your soul that these men are devils. Because you can see them plain and straight. You know what I mean? They can't hide anymore. Once you know who you are within yourself. But if you don't know who you are within yourself, of course you're going to follow the teachings of what I call the slave master and his books. Because now you're going to rely, instead of you relying on conscience to teach you, with your own conscience, the terrible and dreadful God is not a book, is it? The supreme intelligence is not a book. It's an intelligence. But instead of you relying now on this intelligence to be your guide, you are now going to let a book guide you. And like I'm telling you, the only place a book is guiding you is like when you see a man dead and he's in a coffin, in a box, a square box that you cannot get out of. That's where they will guide you. If you are what I term a bookworm. You know what I mean? Because you are not, like I say, nothing wrong with reading books. You can learn knowledge from books. But wisdom can only be taught by your own self, conscience. You know what I mean? So you can't rely on books to be your guide. You know what I mean? Are those who take book as are those who I say who, not those who read books then. People read books for their own pleasure, but people use books to teach people. Now those people are dangerous. Anyone who is using books to teach people, I would say, if I was a gunman hanging about and we're looking for those who are dangerous, as soon as we hear any man using a book to teach people, go and shoot him quick, because that man would be dangerous, if you know what I mean. Because that man will definitely then be teaching people what he don't know, but what he's found in a book. But if a man was, if we hear that a man was teaching people from his own conscience, now we didn't even have to see, we just say without seeing the man that yes, whatever he's saying is right, because he's teaching from his conscience, and we know that conscience only teach what is right and correct. Nothing negative about the consciousness of Rastafari, like I would say, if you know what I mean. So that is the way of the Rastaman, you know, where he's a follower, because you have to follow some, but he's following Rastafari, and Rastafari is not a man or a group of men in any building or a book or anything. It is the energy then. We don't like to sometimes say, if we say he, you get the idea that God is a man. Rastafari is the energy, yeah, that is dwelling within man, but is not man. You ever understand? Or woman for that matter. So this energy, any being that you see walking about, crawling, I call them, on the planet, yeah, this energy is in them. They call this energy conscience. We call it what you want, because as a Rastaman, I'm calling it terrible and dreadful overlord himself, Rastafari, the High General. So when I teach then as a Rasta, I am not restricted, like I said, to be teaching just those people who say, oh yeah, we are Rastas. Now man, I teach, like I say, internationally and galactically. I teach all the people here on the planet and all those beyond in the universe as well, because I'm a galactical teacher, because Rastafari is, if you know what I mean. Rastafari is galactic, international, he's here, there and everywhere. So anywhere in the universe, that is the teaching that run it. You understand? So that's how a Rastaman teach. He's not really saying, no, whether you want to be Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, like I tell you before, all that is irrelevant, because my master is higher than all that, you know. Bother, because he's dwelling in you. I have eyes everywhere, if you look at it that way. And I will destroy, like I'm destroy, just with speaking the word, any one of your greatest priests, imams, rabbi, whatever, tell them to come and bring the books as well. And I haven't got any book. And I haven't been to the colleges where they've been to learn and study. I spend the number of years study whatever knowledge that they study. But I don't need none of those knowledge. I will use wisdom and destroy them easily. They'll be like little fly, blow them away. Easy as that, because they can't know God, innit? They do not know God. These are believers. I don't believe God, I know God. That's why I'm telling you where the terrible and dreadful one is. Right directly within thyself, that you are calling conscience. That is my master. You don't understand? I was educated by that one. Know that one personally. So I am the spokesman for that one, innit? Which being in the universe you think can defeat that one? None at all, Rasta, you're crazy. And I am there, like I say, I am the spokesman for that one. Anyone can be the spokesman for that one. I never tell you that you can't be the spokesman, you know. Because you've got your rights as well, but you are not claiming to be the spokesman for that one, are you? I wonder why. Is it something you're doing in yourself? I reckon that anyone who is not claiming that they are a spokesman, or a spokesperson for the one that is dwelling within themselves, must be doing something wrong in the order of life. If you know what I mean. Because if you was living or intend to live by the ways of this one, you'd be at least trying to speak the words of this one to your fellow human being. And if you are not doing that, guess what? Only because you're living dirty and nasty. You're right, you know you're not right. It's not correct. Think about it. It's true. Once you start to clear up your little dirty deeds, look, you'll start to talk to your neighbors and your friends about the goodness that is lying within them and what you discover, and show them the alternative to the way that they're living. But because you're so busy living dirty yourself, you cannot see this. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to appeal to your soul to wake up from out of this slumber, because there is glories in life and you are missing out. Good food is cooking, Rasta. Rasta is cooking good food and you are missing out. You see what I mean? So I come now to bring the good news then, as it was to the souls of human beings. To say, listen, Your soul is clouded up, right? And the only reason why it's clouded up, it's wrong action. Okay, fair enough, this wrong action was pumping to us from childhood, you know what I mean? We had no way of escaping this contamination that was brought upon us due to the society that we was born into. That's how earth life is. But I'm saying, having been getting ourselves contaminated now, we are now adults. Once we grow, it is up to us to take responsibility for our life and then to start to understand that we've been deceived. But this ain't going to happen if you continue to behave in the way that you've been trained to behave from you as a kid. You know, you wasn't trained to be a good human being, upright and uplifting, honest and decent. We was trained to be competitors then. And when we are competitors, obviously we're going to get deceitful and underhand and try to do everything to make sure we are the winners in the race. Fittest of the fittest. They say like Darwin, they say, tell them that they must run fast and do this kind of idiotic business. You know what I mean? Fittest of the fittest. But what I'm saying is that's how they train you to lose yourself. If you want to find yourself, you must take responsibility, right? And stop behaving in the way that you see humans behaving. Stop getting pissed out of your head because you become imbalanced. Stop telling lies, it will blind you. Stop cheating. Stop hating. If you cannot do these things when you have the willpower in them, you have the will to show you that these things are bullshit and that they're evil and that you shouldn't do them and that you can stop them. But if you don't stop them, these are the things that keep you blind. And when you die, you bring that baggage with you. You're goddamn idiot. I think you're getting away with anything. So imagine then that you have a chance here now on earth to rid yourself of all these unnecessary baggage, but you want to take them into the next life with you. When I am telling you, you'll be transparent. On earth, you will be transparent, you know what I mean? It's not like here where you can hide your little dirty deeds and no one see you. When you go to the next side, you will be transparent, where we can see all your little dirty deeds, how you perform and go on. You know what I mean? So I'm saying that to you on earth, wherever you are, whoever you are, I talk earthwise. I'm saying to you, brothers and sisters, we are all from the same source. We are returning. We are here on a stopover on earth. No one stay here indefinitely. Death is the Governor General of this dimension, my brethren. I know that personally, yeah? Coming from you. Even it's coming from me as well. You know what I mean? You're not here, you're just here for a little spell. The time moves very rapidly, even though you don't notice that. Swiftly, and you are out of here and you're dead. Yeah? Physical, that is. You cannot die through, you move on. There you will make account for what you've been doing here. So wouldn't you like to make put the record straight before you end up in the box? Or some of you don't go in back, you just throw in grave or maybe fish eat you. Who cares how you get that come for you? That is not particular which way he come for a being. But whenever it come upon you, whether it's a wild animal eat you or man shot you or you die naturally, you can be prepared, ready. But only one way of being ready for that, and that is to be in the striving mood of making correction within one beings. You see what I mean? Understanding who Rastafari is. I'm not insisting that you must call this one Rastafari, you know. You call it whatever you want. The spirit that is dwelling within your own being. Understanding who that one is. You see, and living by the laws of that one. Because only that one can lead the soul out of darkness. Anyone who is not living under the will of that one is in darkness. And the majority of the world is not living under the rule of that one. Because they've used religion to keep you away from that one. So you can follow whatever they create. You know what I mean? Already this man, like I tell you, you're going down to hell. All of you preachers and teachers, because you're telling you, You are preaching hypocrisy. I bet my soul against. Lately I've become a gambler. I find that I'm betting my soul regular. I say, yeah man, edging my bets, man. Last night I was betting my soul. I bet my soul last night against a Muslim because he tell me that when Islam first come into Africa, it come in there peacefully, and lovingly. So I bet my soul against that, saying these men come in violently, and that a lot of ancestors died and was brutalized at the hands of these very men that he's telling me I'm Muslim. Bet my soul against that. Yeah? And I'm now betting my soul that all religious men, yeah? If there was a dark place, that's where they're going. Because they are not heading to anywhere like. These are ignorant beings. All of them. They're so ignorant that they love dressing up in elaborate. You can tell ignorance by the quality of its clothes. I say. Just look at the religious man elaborate garb. And all of them, if there's a Jesus, when you go to hell, you will meet him down there. Yeah? You go pray to Jesus, because you never want anything to do with God, did you? No wonder you select God's son. Maybe you find God too, what is it, strict? Maybe you find God too strict and you find that God's son will tolerate your pervertedness a little bit more. So rather than go along with following the ways of God, you decide to follow God's son. Well, anyway, next time we're going to be we'll carry on this reasoning here, because the door is ringing and guess is coming to reason. So here what we're going to do now. We're going to fire out from Firehouse, and we'll catch you on another reel where we'll fire some more fire. Fade in and fire out from Firehouse, see?